Today, I'm gonna see if I can fix my garage storage problems with a giant cabinet. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just bought this Suncast storage cabinet for my garage. It's actually not just the only one, but 11 of these. And one of the things that Suncast did right out of the gate is get on my good side because they have named this thing exactly what it is. They have called it the Mega Tall Storage Cabinet because this thing is mega tall, basically 7 feet tall. So they didn't name it like the Suncast Garage Storage System 380 XL Jaguar Edition or something like that. I mean, this is the biggest one that they make, as far as I can tell, for home use. It's a resin cabinet, 80 inches tall, which is about 7 feet. They actually make one that's a little shorter if you're looking for one that's maybe not as tall. But because I need as much storage as possible, I thought a little extra height. And I've got the height in my garage. If you're using this inside, maybe you don't. Now, I will say they also make a commercial version. This is the residential version. It's called their Platinum Edition. The color's a little different. The construction looks generally about the same, but I think everything is beefed up on the commercial edition. The shelves in the commercial edition are rated to hold 200 pounds. These are rated to hold 75 pounds, which is more than enough for me. And I think that's the minimum. I think if you were really to stress them out, they might even hold a little bit more because they do have a steel bar that goes through the shelf. I'll show you that. But I do want to say that bringing this in from the outside was a bit of a faff. This thing is heavy. I thought it was resin, plastic. It would be pretty light. This thing would be like assembling one of those injection molded plastic cars for kids or something like that. But this thing is no joke. I can hear some of the hardware that apparently you use in this thing rattling around. I think it's the metal bars. And one of the things that I was really thinking about was actually hiring someone to come up here and help me put these together. But I think generally they're kind of snapped together. You kind of pound these things together and hopefully they'll hold their shape. So I am hopeful that now here in my garage, look at all this junk that's just sitting there, to put some cabinets along the walls here and get some of the stuff filed away, and hopefully it'll help me get organized. So I am hoping, one, I can get this thing unboxed and set up by myself. Two, up against the wall because they are heavy, get them bolted in, and then get stuff sorted through and get it into the cabinet. So let's see if this mega tall storage cabinet is something I can do on my own, and if it's everything I've been looking for. Let's try it out. All right, so here's the box and here's some of the pieces. There's the back piece there. Now, I've actually gone ahead and pulled out the first piece that you need, and that's the A piece. It says A bottom. I like that it's molded in there. You can see that these resin pieces aren't that big and they aren't that heavy when they are by themselves, but you're going to actually install the sides first, and you're going to want the piece here that's marked C, and this is C, left panel. So the first thing you're going to want to do is flip this over. Obviously, this kind of flat-ish side will be the upside. You can see how you have all the moldings and the reinforcements there. So you're gonna move this over like this. You have three big cutouts. That's gonna be in the back. This is gonna be the front. This is gonna be where the door latches in. You can also see the round holes where the door will pivot there. Now this panel is gonna go on the left side, so left as you're facing the door. And you can actually see here that we have three little screw holes there. That's where the latch will screw into the side. So that's also gonna be your indication that this is going to be front. Now I wanna show you, we have these slots here, wider at the back, narrower at the front. And on the bottom of this, we have these little flanges, these little L-shaped flanges, and they will slot into the back and then slide forward. And that's gonna be what locks them in. I think this is actually going to be quite a bit easier than putting together IKEA furniture where it's like Phillips head, flat head, now you need an Allen key, all that kind of stuff. Generally, I think you will need a Phillips head screwdriver to install the metal bracket into the shelves, but for most of the body here, I don't think you're going to need much in the way of tools, which is actually really nice. So let's go ahead and get this on. This will just drop in like this. You can see it starts way in the back here. And I'm going to push that down first and then forward next. This actually might be easier if you have it up against something that's not going to move so that you can kind of keep this in. All right, so that little step is coming in handy. Now the next thing is we're going to put on the other wall. The panel is going to drop in right back here, and then just kick this forward. It's flush. All right, two sides in. All right, now you're gonna install the back, this D panel here. What I wanna show you is that we have three big tabs here on the bottom. Those are gonna fit into the three slots on the bottom there. But then we also have these little tabs on the side, and that's going to fit into that opening right there and then slide down into that little slot. So you're gonna have to kind of put this in to both sides at the same time. It might help to have an extra pair of hands. And then close the two sides against it, and then slide it down. All right, let's get to it. All right, got it in here. And my tip here is that hopefully you have steel-toed boots on, because I didn't, but if I put my foot in here and then rested the panel on it, it kind of hovered it enough that I could fit it into these slots. Now, it is kind of a lot of weight on your foot, so it doesn't feel very comfortable. More structure in the shoe will probably help. And then what I found is that you kind of want to do one side, and then you can let it kind of drop down into the side panel. And this other side will stay pretty high, and then you can line those up, sandwich them together, pull your foot out, and it'll drop into place generally. So, looks pretty good. All right, on to the next. All right, now we need the top panel here. This is gonna be your E. I like that all the letters are in order. No kind of wacky order here. See E right there. And this is going to drop on the top and then get pushed forward here. So kind of just the reverse of the bottom piece here. So you're gonna drop it on the top. Those little flanges at the very top of the cabinet are gonna go into this opening here, and then you're gonna kind of knock it forward and they'll get wedged in here. All right, so tool list so far, let's do it. All right, I banged the top into place, but what I want to show you here is that there is another locking tab right here, and it won't go in because if I bang on this, it's as far forward as it's going to go. So I want to come around to this side. Don't lock me in, please. And you can see where that tab needs to drop into the slot. And I think if I kind of hold the top in place and then bang this back, there, now it's locked into place. So that's my little tip. Hopefully you're making a good, strong fist. Iron fist, fist of fury. All right, now we got to make shelves here, and depending on how you want to use this, you can put in all three of the shelves, none of the shelves, you know, if you've got brooms and stuff. Now, what's cool about this is that the brackets are L, the shelf is F, and the screws you're going to use to mount it together are AA. So LFA, like the Lexus LFA, really cool car. And I want to show you how it installs here. You can see these little indentations. That's where the screws are going to mount. So you're going to rotate this so that the holes are up, and then you're going to mount it just like this, line up those holes with the little screw indentations, and then use the screws to bolt these together. Now, you can absolutely use a Phillips head screwdriver, but for me, I'm going to use a power tool. So these seem pretty robust, but that little metal bar there is just going to give it more structure, more permanence, more durability, more longevity. Oh geez, maybe I should have a metal bar installed in me. All right, let's get this thing installed and in the cabinet. And it probably makes sense to just assemble all these shelves at the same time. All right, once you have your shelf done, you've got lots of options of where to put it. And you can see we have a little bump there, which will index with this little recessed area there. So you can just drop this thing in wherever you want. And the nice thing is, you know, if you want to move these later, they don't seem to be permanently installed. You just have to kind of manhandle them out again. So now we have a nice steel bar reinforced shelf right here. That's going to be perfect for all my Star Trek books, but I can't put them all in one shelf then. 75 pounds is going to be plenty of capacity for pretty much anything that you're going to want to put up here, except your mama. All right, now time to assemble the doors. That's pretty much the only thing we have left. Now, there are a couple pieces to the doors here. There are these latches that will hold it closed at the bottom. You get two of these, one at the top, one at the bottom. You can see the hole there and the hole there. Now, you have to take this apart before you can install it. And I want to show you here that it has a couple little teeth on the bottom, and those are always going to point to the outside. They're basically going to lock in either onto this side or on that far end. And then also, this little latch here, which you're gonna have to take out first, also has a thick end and a thin end. So you can see this thick end. That is what will latch into the receiver hole either on the cabinet bottom or top. And so that's kind of how you can remember which end goes back in. So this should be pretty easy. You can see here, teeth will go this way. So I'm gonna put in the teeth first here, push it in so that it gets under the plastic there, and then just kind of push this down, and there, snaps in. And now I'm gonna take the fat end of this bad boy and point it that way, but I'm going to take the slim end and push it up into the door here so that I can get that down. And now I can push this down, kind of pushing with my finger, and it's not enough leverage to get that down. So the butt end of a screwdriver or something like that, and then you push that down, and then that will slide in. Now, we're going to install one of two handles here. I think these are reversible, so it doesn't really matter which one goes where. But you're just going to want the flat edge here, the vertical edge, to be on the inside. So in this case, what I'm going to do here is you can see we have a little cutout here. So I'm going to drop in that middle edge underneath the plastic and then push this down. There, clicks in. And then you're going to want to do everything for the other door too. Now, my experience has been that sometimes it's kind of hard to press in there. It's a tight fit. So I've kind of found that pushing on the back with my hand and then pushing on this side right here on the edge to get these two pieces to marry up is sometimes pretty helpful. But once it snaps in place, then it's pretty secure. All right, so on the door at the top and the bottom, we have a little post there. And we also have little holes right up there and right down there. So you might be saying, well, how do I get them in? And that's where the flexibility of resin is going to help here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna drop in the bottom post first. So now I'm gonna lean this door forward so it'll get underneath this top. And I'm gonna try to keep it on this back ridge where there aren't those holes, and then slide it, kind of muscle it all the way back to this hole. And then just drag it all the way back right there. And that is in now. Pretty cool. Now if we go here to the inside, you can see where we have to take that hinge and use the remaining screws and screw it on here. Now, if this were the commercial grade one, I think this would be a metal hinge, but it's plastic. And this is really just to kind of keep this from flexing, give it a little bit of extra guidance. So the way I found to press these two together is that you just lay them like this, like L's, with the lower L portion facing away from you. Put them on a hard surface, and then if I just push this one on here just like this, it seems to snap in place. Otherwise, you're kind of fighting these things all the time. Now, one top tip here is when you're screwing these screws in, whether it's on the shelves or on this bracket, I have my torque set pretty low because it's resin, and if you over torque it, it's gonna just strip the screw out. So you don't need to put a lot of torque, you just need to get it tightened down. All right, now that that is in, this door closes just like this, and I can lock this latch. It's pretty stiff. I don't know that I'll use these a lot, but it's actually pretty secure once you get that up there. But probably maybe just the top or the bottom one is gonna be enough for my needs, but you can lock it on the top or the bottom to keep people from getting in there that don't need to be in there. All right, so I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll have some final thoughts. One last thing that I really like is that they give you these lag bolts to put into the wall. You can see we have these little butterflies, so you can actually push this through a hole in the drywall, and then it'll open up and then you can screw it so it'll hold it in place, drywall and then these washers. So here are the two holes that they will go into. You can make this safer by anchoring it to your drywall, which I'm gonna do here. So we'll get those installed. All right, I am pooped, but I've got a bunch of these cabinets set up here and I've been playing around with them, and I wanna point out a few things that I think you should remember before you pick these up. All right, the first question I had was, if you have these right next to each other, you know, basically no space or as little space as you can absolutely positively have, will the doors still open? And I wanna show you here, if I open up this door, it opens up. So it opens up within its space. Now when it's open, it's overlapping. So I can't really open this door and the one next to it, you know, without interfering with each other. I can have them both open, but they do interfere with each other a little bit. All right, the other thing I wanna show you here is while the doors do kind of stay shut, because it's resin, it's not really exacting. And so they kind of will fall open a little bit, especially if they're on uneven ground or something like that. So what I have found here is it's just easy for me to go ahead and hit this one or kick this latch with the toe to keep them shut. They do kind of have a little bit of friction, but not a lot, so kind of keep that in mind. The other thing I showed you here is that they have those anchors that will go into drywall, and there's a hole there, and I thought, okay, that's where it's supposed to go. The hole's only on this side of the resin piece here, so there's another separate side on the back, and it doesn't go all the way through. So you are gonna need a drill to drill all the way through there, and then a drill to put a hole in your drywall so that you can run the anchor all the way through there. So kind of keep that in mind. You're gonna need like a power tool to do that. Otherwise, I really like these. You can see how they are made. I don't know if these are vacuum formed or what, but the outside here has a little bit of pebbling. They call them platinum. I feel like this is a silver brown, maybe. You know, it does have this design here. I almost wish they were flat so that I could put like a decal on the outside here and dress them up, maybe add a little fake wood finish or something like that. Up here is much darker. That's just like a standard brown. And then inside here, you can see how the backing, the two pieces here are connected with all these little, almost like spot welds where it's all put together. So you can see lots of structure here. Really all that attachment structure is hidden on the inside. On the outside, it's got a nice clean look, right? And some of these, and kind of this debossed side here, I think all of this is for rigidity and structure. It's not just for looks. But overall, I mean, I think those are pretty attractive, and they are about the cheapest big cabinets I could find. So 80 inches is actually pretty rare. A lot of them are just 72 inches. You might not need them this big, but Especially if you have the height, it allows you to store a lot more stuff. They're pretty neutral looking, so whether you have a gray, white, black palette, I think they're gonna kind of fit anywhere in the garage. I think a lot of people might use these in their basement. But at $300, I couldn't find a bigger cabinet for less money. So if you want to go up to the MDF, the particle board stuff, which I really worry about how it's going to keep its shape with humidity and temperature swings and things like that, those are like $500, $600, $700. And then to go to a really high quality piece like a metal cabinet was $700, $800, $900 a cabinet. So it's really a third of the price of all those. So you can get 3 times as much. So I bought a bunch of these and I feel like it was expensive. I can't imagine what my pocketbook would feel like if I had actually sprung for metal, because I think these will work just fine. But pretty good looking. Hey, that is definitely finishing out my garage. Hopefully I'll be able to finish up my garage, store everything away, have it looking nice and clean. So if you want to store stuff out of sight, keep it nice and purty, I think these Suncast Mega Tall cabinets are a pretty good deal. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper.